In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on March 5th, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Pistons versus Miami Heat. In the fiercely contested battle for positions 4 through 8, the Miami Heat are eloquently advocating for their candidacy, bolstered by a remarkable 10-3 record in their most recent 13 outings. The most recent feather in their cap was a hard-fought triumph against the formidable Utah Jazz, clinching a 126-120 victory. Notably, Jimmy Butler showcased his formidable skills, amassing 37 points and displaying remarkable efficiency with a 12-19 field goal record. In stark contrast, the Detroit Pistons find themselves in the doldrums at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings, mired in a disheartening sequence of 8 losses in their last 9 contests. Currently, they share the unenviable distinction of possessing the worst record in the NBA with the Washington Wizards. Detroit's latest setback unfolded in a 113-91 defeat at the hands of the Orlando Magic, where Evan Fournier emerged as the leading scorer with a modest 17 points. Plagued by a challenging stretch, the Detroit Pistons find themselves ensnared in a slump, having suffered defeat in 8 of their last 9 encounters. Eager to break free from a 2-game skid, their recent woes were exacerbated by a resounding 113-91 loss to the Orlando Magic. In this encounter, Evan Fournier emerged as the offensive linchpin with a tally of 17 points, supported by Simone Fontecchio's 15 points and Jalen Duren's contribution of 11 points. Regrettably, the Pistons faltered collectively, shooting a meager 38% from the field and a mere 8 of 36 from beyond the arc. Despite forcing the Magic into 20 turnovers, they failed to mount a credible threat. Cade Cunningham managed just 9 points on 4 of 12 shooting, while Ausar Thompson struggled, scoring a mere 8 points on 2 of 10 shooting. Conversely, the Miami Heat find themselves riding a wave of success, triumphing in 8 of their last 10 matchups. Their latest conquest involved a hard-fought 126-120 home win against the Utah Jazz, with Jimmy Butler at the forefront, amassing 37 points and 7 assists on an efficient 12 of 19 shooting. Bam Adebayo and Caleb Martin played pivotal roles, contributing 23 and 18 points, respectively, shooting at an impressive 52% from the field and 13 of 34 from beyond the arc. The Heat encountered early challenges against the Jazz but clawed their way back from an 11-point deficit, eventually pulling away in the 4th quarter. The Heat's upcoming challenge involves a matchup against the Mavericks. As the Pistons continue to grapple with the absence of Quentin Grimes, the Heat find themselves without key contributors in Kevin Love, Tyler Herro, and Josh Richardson. Miami is currently showcasing some of their most formidable basketball of the season, excelling both defensively and offensively. Having covered the spread in 9 of their last 10 games, the Heat's defensive prowess and deliberate pace pose a significant challenge to the Pistons, who have struggled as single-digit road underdogs with a 6-7 against the spread record in that category. The Pistons' propensity for turnovers may prove to be a decisive factor in their clash with the Heat. While the Pistons may not be as woeful as their record implies, their lackluster performance against the Magic on Sunday raises questions about their resilience. In stark contrast, the Heat, despite grappling with injuries, have displayed exceptional form and are likely well rested, having not played since Saturday. Hence, the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Examining the Miami Heat's overall over-under record of 23-37 for the season underscores a tendency for their games to fall below the projected point total. This trend is further accentuated by their recent over-under record of 3-10 in the last 13 games, indicating their reliance on solid defensive play rather than stellar offensive output. The potential absence of key offensive contributors such as Tyler Herro and Kevin Love introduces an additional layer of uncertainty surrounding their scoring potential on Tuesday night. Notably, Miami's formidable defense, ranked among the best in the league, is poised to shine against the struggling Detroit Pistons, who have grappled with offensive challenges throughout the season, averaging just 112 points per game. Given the Heat's recent impressive 10-3 run, dominated by suffocating defense, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Hawks versus New York Knicks. On Tuesday night, the New York Knicks are set to host the Atlanta Hawks in a highly anticipated Eastern Conference showdown at the iconic Madison Square Garden. This game carries a significant narrative, harking back to a few seasons ago when these two teams clashed in the playoffs. Now, their paths cross again in a matchup that could potentially influence the playoff standings. This marks the third encounter between the two teams this season, with the Knicks claiming victory in the first two meetings held in Atlanta by a combined margin of 8 points. As the series relocates to New York, there's an intriguing question about whether the Knicks can replicate their success on their home turf. With both teams currently occupying playoff positions, fans are sure to be on the edge of their seats for this compelling matchup. The Atlanta Hawks find themselves in a challenging phase, having lost 5 of their last 7 games. Eager to break a 2-game losing streak, the Hawks will be looking to rebound after a decisive 114-102 defeat at the hands of the Nets in a road game on Saturday. Saddiq Bey led the team with an impressive 23 points, complemented by DeJounte Murray's 20 points and 11 assists, along with De'Andre Hunter's 15 points off the bench. Despite a strong start that saw them establish a 13-point lead, the Hawks faltered, allowing a total of 69 points in the second and third quarters combined. Now facing the Knicks, the Hawks aim to regroup and regain their winning momentum. In contrast, the New York Knicks have been maintaining a decent form, splitting their last 6 games. Seeking to build on their recent success, the Knicks secured a 107-98 road win against the short-handed Cavaliers on Sunday. Don DiVincenzo led the team with an impressive performance, contributing 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic added 20 points off the bench, and Miles McBride chipped in with 16 points and 5 assists. The Knicks showcased their resilience by shooting 48% from the field and an impressive 16 of 39 from beyond the arc. After trailing at halftime, they seized control of the game with a 36-point explosion in the third quarter, securing a vital road victory. The injury report adds an additional layer of complexity to this matchup. The Hawks are still without Trae Young, and Kobe Buffkin is listed as questionable. On the other side, the Knicks are missing Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson is questionable due to a left knee bruise. Despite the Knicks being the expected favorites when healthy, the absence of key players in the front court, their top defenders, and their all-star point guard may tip the scales in favor of the Hawks. Atlanta, even without Young, possesses scoring options and crucial defensive assets. The Hawks' performance in the first 2 matchups suggests they can contend closely, and this might be the game where they overcome the odds. For the Hawks, securing a win becomes imperative to break their recent streak of only 2 victories in the last 7 games. The potential absence of Jalen Brunson for the Knicks could further boost the Hawks' chances. Caution is advised to check the lineups before tip-off, but as it stands, placing confidence in Murray and the Hawks seems slightly more prudent. Leading up to Sunday night's game, the Knicks had only covered the spread once in their previous 9 games overall. This trend is likely to persist on Tuesday, so the Atlanta Hawks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. With both Trae Young and Jalen Brunson potentially sidelined, scoring is expected to take a hit in this matchup. The offensive struggles for both teams this season are compounded by the absence of key contributors. The under has been a prevailing trend, with the Hawks' last 6 games seeing it hit in 5 instances and the Knicks registering 6 straight unders and 8 in their last 9. From a strategic standpoint, the game plan for both teams will likely revolve around slowing down the pace and emphasizing solid defense. The Knicks currently stand 12th in defensive efficiency, limiting opponents to 112 points per 100 possessions. Notably, they are the slowest team in the league in terms of pace, utilizing only 97.9 possessions per game. Hosting an Atlanta team without their leading scorer, Trae Young, the Knicks are expected to tighten their defensive grip. Examining historical trends in this series, the under has proven to be a lucrative option, cashing in 6 of the last 7 meetings at Madison Square Garden. Additionally, the under has maintained a perfect record of 6-0 in New York's last 6 games overall. Although the projected total for this game may seem low by contemporary NBA standards, the absence of star players and a string of injuries is likely to contribute to a lower scoring affair. The scarcity of star talent on the court is likely to result in one of the lowest scoring games on Tuesday's slate. Thus, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New Orleans Pelicans versus Toronto Raptors. A compelling NBA clash awaits as the New Orleans Pelicans venture north to face off against the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, setting the stage for an East versus West showdown. The Pelicans are riding high on momentum following a convincing 129-102 victory over the Indiana Pacers, where they showcased their prowess as 5.5-point home favorites. On the flip side, the Raptors secured a home win against the Charlotte Hornets with a score of 111-106, albeit falling short of covering the spread as 7.5-point favorites. Notably, these teams clashed earlier in the season, with the Raptors dominating with a 38-point victory on their home turf. The New Orleans Pelicans exhibit an impressive form, triumphing in 10 of their last 14 games, and they are eager to maintain this momentum after their commanding win against the Pacers. In the aforementioned victory, Brandon Ingram spearheaded the team's charge with an outstanding performance, registering 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Pelicans, as a cohesive unit, displayed remarkable efficiency, shooting 55% from the field and connecting on 15 of 32 three-point attempts. The team set the tone early with a resounding 48-point explosion in the first quarter, solidifying their dominance throughout the game. Notably, the Raptors, their upcoming opponents, have also been in decent form, winning 4 of their last 6 games, including a hard-fought 111-106 triumph against the Hornets. R.J. Barrett led the Raptors with 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, contributing to their successful run. As the Pelicans prepare for the upcoming matchup with a complete roster, the Raptors find themselves grappling with the absence of key players such as Bruce Brown, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. Brandon Ingram's stellar performance in the recent win against the Pacers, where he surpassed the 30-point mark, underscores his potential impact alongside Zion Williamson in exploiting the interior against a Raptors team missing key defensive player Scotty Barnes and the sidelined Jakob Poeltl. Notably, the New Orleans Pelicans have established themselves as one of the NBA's top teams in covering spreads this season, securing the 4th position by covering 55% of their games. In contrast, the Toronto Raptors find themselves in the 23rd spot, covering only 46.7% of their games. The Raptors' roster turnover and the absence of Barnes, Poeltl, and Brown further tip the scales in favor of the Pelicans, who boast a healthy starting lineup, featuring the dynamic duo of Williamson and Ingram, complemented by the sharpshooting prowess of McCollum. The Pelicans' recent dominant form, coupled with their complete roster, contrasts with the Raptors' struggles in the absence of key players. Despite the Raptors' recent victories, including one against the Hornets, their inconsistency and a depleted lineup make them vulnerable against a formidable Pelicans squad, who clinched victory by a 38-point margin in their previous encounter. The Pelicans' profitability with a 33-27-1 against the spread record adds to the confidence in their ability to secure a victory against the short-handed Raptors. As the game unfolds, the Raptors find themselves without 3 key scorers, creating a significant offensive void to fill. New Orleans, known for consistently hitting on dares recently, holds a defensive advantage, ranking 7th in the league in efficiency. Toronto, with the 28th longest defensive possessions, lacks the defensive prowess to counter the Pelicans' athleticism. The absence of Barnes, Poeltl, and Brown, responsible for a combined 40 points per game, further weakens the Raptors' offensive capabilities. In terms of pace, both the Pelicans and Raptors fall within the middle range. Despite Zion Williamson's relatively subdued performance in the recent win against the Pacers, the Pelicans' depth and Brandon Ingram's prowess offer a versatile offensive threat. Facing a Raptors team without key players, including starting center Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes, Williamson is poised for a strong comeback. The Pelicans' recent trend of hitting on dares in 5 consecutive games aligns with the expectation that Toronto lacks the offensive firepower to compete. Consequently, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.